American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
It's been proven again and again and again.
Bert Harper.
The verification of the dates, the verification of the genealogies, it puts spiritual iron in my spiritual blood to know that we can depend upon the Word of God.
Exploring the Word. Weekday afternoons at 3 Central on American Family Radio. This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. President Trump says he's reduced tariffs on Chinese imports after his meeting with China's President Xi Jinping in South Korea. Chris Foster reports.
President Trump says the tariffs are lowered effective immediately.
It was 57, now it's 47. Because we reduced it by the fentanyl.
20% of that was punishment for China not doing enough to prevent fentanyl from reaching the United States. That's cut in half. He's also suspending port fees on Chinese ships and says there will be mediated talks about China buying restricted computer chips, not the most advanced.
They're going to be talking to NVIDIA and others about taking chips. Look, we make great chips, and NVIDIA is the leader.
He says China will put on hold for at least a year export controls on rare earth minerals and immediately start buying American soybeans again.
More than 10,000 people packed the Turning Point USA event at the University of Mississippi last night. Erica Kirk addressed a TPUSA event at Ole Miss for the first time since her husband's assassination and had this advice for students.
And Charlie would say this all the time: your rights don't come from the government, they come from God. And he knew what every founding father knew, and nearly almost every university has forgotten, that you cannot have freedom without virtue, and you cannot have virtue without God.
And Vice President J.D. Vance reminded students and others of this advice from Charlie Kirk.
Charlie wanted you to get married. He wanted you to fall in love. He wanted you to build a family. He wanted you to find a vocation. That was the advice that he gave on campuses, but that's not just about you. That's also about our country and about our government. Because while you have the freedom to live life as you so choose, I have got a responsibility as your vice president to make the American dream as accessible as possible.
Leslie Lackman is president of the Turning Point USA chapter at Ole Miss.
Charlie really inspired this message of being on the front lines. He wanted us out there tabling. He wanted us spreading the message. I think this only motivated the group. My executive board works hard to rain or shine. We are out. Buttons are out. People are wearing the merch loud and proud across the campus of Ole Miss. And we couldn't be prouder with the growth that we've seen. They've expanded so drastically that now our rooms are fire hazards because so many people attend the meetings every week.
Suddenly, Bill Gates is admitting that climate change won't lead to humanity's demise after all. Now, he tells us, after he long joined other climate alarmists in warning of disaster.
This is the one challenge that could completely end human civilization.
The world is going to end in 12 years if we don't address climate change.
The Microsoft co-founder writes, quote, "The doomsday view that cataclysmic climate change will decimate civilization is wrong." Fox News contributor Jimmy Fallon says that's quite an about-face.
The movement has not only just changed again, but it changed in name 3 times before we got here. We were going to freeze to death in the 70s. Can you give me some money? We were going to melt in the 80s. Can you give me a couple of bucks? Then they were like, all right, we're not freezing, we're not melting, but the weather changes every day. How about a couple of bucks? Right. When no one gave in anymore, they were like, we're all going to die. And if you don't believe us, here's a 12-year-old Greta Thunberg to guilt you into giving us money. Right. Even she moved on.
Fairfax County School District in Virginia is being forced to condemn a kidnapping skit filmed by some of its students.
The Muslim Student Association chapter at 2 high schools in Fairfax County, Virginia, recorded similar skits on video that promoted an upcoming meeting the group was having. In the skits, students who say they don't plan to attend have a bag placed over their head, are hoisted off their feet, and kidnapped. The district said in a recent statement the video was, quote, traumatizing, end quote, to Jewish students and faculty due to events happening in the world. AFN talked with Aaron Bandler, U.S. National Correspondent for the Jewish News Syndicate.
I mean, the videos are pretty horrendous. They are meant to be satire, but I think it's in very poor taste. Mocking kidnappings when, it was not too long ago that a bunch of Israelis, a bunch of Jews were kidnapped by Hamas on October 7th. And it's pretty sickening to watch those videos. The district says they're taking it seriously, as they should, and we'll ultimately see what happens.
He said he doesn't want to, quote, get inside their heads, end quote, and speculate what these students were thinking in doing this, but he said he would like to think it's just a matter of being insensitive.
I mean, these are high school kids after all. But in this day and age, you can never be too sure. And that's why the school should take it seriously and take action.
I'm Bronson Woodruff.
For American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh.
I'm Dr. Ray Rooney. The mission of American Family Association is to inform, equip, and activate individuals and families to strengthen the moral foundations of American culture and give aid to the church, here and abroad, in its task of fulfilling the Great Commission. AFA aims to evangelize the lost and disciple the believer.
Thank you for standing with the American Family Association as we seek to stop the erosion of godly values.
Welcome to Today's Issues, offering a Christian response to the issues of the day. Here's your host, Tim Wildmon, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Today's October the 30th, 2025, and we thank you for listening to AFR. Joining me in studio is Fred Jackson. Good morning, Fred.
Good morning, Tim.
Chris Woodward.
Good morning.
And in Kansas City, KS, is our good friend Ray Pritchard. Good morning, Ray.
Good morning, Tim. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Today's my wife's birthday, by the way.
Well, happy birthday, Allison.
Allison. Yeah.
First lady.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how old she is, although it doesn't matter to me. But,
I remember when I turned 39, Allison. Let me tell you.
Anyway, she's my lovely and talented wife.
Mm-hmm.
She's her birthday, October the 30th.
So, okay,
the
wait
one
a minute.
who mows your lawn.
1963. So you figure it out.
So are you going somewhere? What did you just do? Give us her
Tim will be dining alone at Sweet Tea and Biscuits today.
Table for one at McDonald's.
All right. Anyway, yeah, we were married the same year. No, we were married. Okay, you know what? We need to just start this show over.
That's all right.
The problem is it's live.
Yeah. Rewind.
I shouldn't. Anyway, just happy birthday, honey.
Happy birthday, Allison.
Happy birthday. All right, so we were. What I meant to say was we were born the same year. That's 1963.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now we know how old you
remember
are.
You and Ray remember 1963, don't you?
That's
vividly.
Absolutely. Yeah. I wasn't in high school.
In 63?
In 1963, I was 9 years old.
What about you, Ray?
I was in the 5th grade on that Friday when Mr. Kindig walked in.
Oh, yeah.
And said they shot
That's
the
right.
president.
Now, that's coming up. When was that? November the
22nd, 1963. Vivid, like it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What happened to you on that? Your teacher came in and told you?
Our principal came in, in which Mr. Kindig, a principal who was truly in charge, if you know what I mean. And he never interrupted class, but he walked in without invitation and simply said, "They shot the president."
Yeah.
And we looked at each other. Kids, 5th graders, did not know what to do or what to say. Mm-hmm. But then they sent us home, right? They sent us home and watched that unfolding events in Dallas on little tiny black and white TV screen.
Mm-hmm. Wow, what is that? Your memory?
I remember my mom telling me. I was 9 years old. I remember my mom telling me that the president of the United States had been assassinated. So it was big news in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, very much so.
Around the world. Well, that's one of the things that happened that's the biggest thing that happened in 1963. But yeah, that was when I was born. All right, so much to talk about today. We had, Chris and I were both in Oxford, Mississippi last night for the Turning Point USA event with Erica Kirk, the widow of Charlie Kirk. Mm-hmm. And then her special guest that spoke was none other than the Vice President of the United States, Mr. J.D. Vance, right?
Very true. I wish that I had known it was Allison's birthday because perhaps we could have put in a request for J.D., as one person in the audience called him, to wish her a happy birthday. I'll get to the J.D. guy in a minute. But for people that didn't have the ability to watch it, there are still streams out there on YouTube that you could pull up and watch on demand today.
It was on Fox News Live, right?
I had the best seat in the house.
Yeah.
From my recliner in my living room.
Yeah.
Saw the whole thing.
Yeah. Did you watch it, Ray? Any of it?
Watch the Erica Kirk and JD. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What an event.
Yeah.
I watched it on Fox News.
Just for I don't want to steal your thunder here, Chris, but you do have thunder, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, the event was held on the campus of Ole Miss at the Pavilion, which is the basketball arena, and it seats, I think, 9,000 for basketball, roughly. And then you add in seats on the floor last night, and the arena was packed, rafter, if there was a rafter, rafter to rafter. It was packed out, and people were turned away because, when it got full. So you're talking about 10,000 plus inside the arena for the event last night.
Yeah.
And so that's the setting, and it was the first time. Well, it may be the only time that Erica speaks at one of these events. That Charlie Kirk had this scheduled as part of his national tour. So he was coming. He goes around the country, and this was his stop at Ole Miss to have the designated day, and so that's why the event went ahead and took place with Erica and the vice president.
And how impressive these kids, 10,000 kids. Some of them start lining up.
They weren't all kids. I was born in 63.
Oh, there you go. 7 or 8 hours in advance in the pouring rain. These kids, a lot of these students.
A majority of them were students.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes, they were. Yeah,
very impressive.
Yeah. All right, so that's the setting, and you've got some of the for those who missed it or those who want to hear him again. You got some highlights.
Yes. For people that did miss it, it was not just a get out the vote rally. Or embrace the Constitution, engage free speech. Those things were addressed, and I do have some of those sound bites. But one of the things that has been lost in some of the news coverage today, particularly in secular media, is how many of the speeches from even the people that were there before Erica Kirk spoke, they talked about their faith, and they shared scripture. They talked about Jesus and the importance of sharing Jesus with others, knowing Jesus as your Lord and Savior. So for a school that is referred to or known as a party school, Jesus was there with us last night. And to give you an idea of just some of the pro-family messages from even J.D. Vance here, here's what he had to say about starting a family. Clip 1.
Charlie wanted you to get married. He wanted you to fall in love. He wanted you to build a family. He wanted you to find a vocation. That was the advice that he gave on campuses. But that's not just about you. That's also about our country and about our government. Because while you have the freedom to live life as you so choose, I have got a responsibility as your vice president to make the American dream as accessible as possible.
By the way, the vice president, before he spoke, he said, I had a prepared speech to give here tonight, but I'm ditching it.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't he, Fred?
Yeah, I was amazed by that. He had the speech in front of him, and he said, you know what, I'm not going to use this speech.
I'm just going to
I just
speak
want
from
to
the
talk.
heart.
I just want to talk to you guys.
Yeah. So he gave. Okay. So Erica spoke first, and she went about, I'm going to say 20 to 30 minutes, maybe. Erica Kirk talked a lot about Charlie, and talked a lot about the mission of Turning Point and the challenge of going forward. And on a personal note, she said, it was very sad to hear. She talked about basically she's saying the reality of what she called this nightmare is basically just she's having to come to grips with it, for lack of a better term. The initial shock of what happened, and then the immediate aftermath. Everybody's surrounding you, and you're trying to process all this. And now she described, being at home alone with her 2 children, sleeping by herself. And it was just, heartbreaking to hear her talk about it. Y'all heard this, right?
Yeah,
It was kind of like very personal. That she shared this, her feelings, I guess you could say. I'm surprised she didn't cry, but she didn't. She didn't cry. But anyway, that was what she did, and then she introduced the vice president and J.D. Vance, and he came on stage, and then he said what Fred said. He said, "I'm ditching this formal speech I was going to give. I'm just going to talk from the heart." Then he said, what we're going to do here tonight is I'm going to take questions from the audience. So you had these 10,000 people, and then live national television with Fox. And J.D. Vance said, I want you, cause what he was doing what Charlie Kirk would have done.
Right.
That's the reason he did this. And so he said, do we have this clip where he says, I want the people who disagree with me to come?
No, sir.
Okay. He says, Vice President says, we're going to do this Q&A, and if you disagree with me if you have a question of disagreement with me on issues or policy, I want you to step up to the microphone first.
Yep. Which is what Charlie Kirk used to do.
Yeah. So it was, and then Vice President Vance just was outstanding on his feet with every Q&A that he gave. He's a very witty guy. He's very affable. Is that the right word? He's not stiff, robotic, or anything like that. He just comes across a very normal person.
Yes, and he did not shy away from tough questions.
No, he didn't. He didn't know what they were going to ask. He really didn't. None of the questions were given to him prior to the event.
Right.
Go ahead.
To give you an example of he not shying away from questions, there was a lady there who asked him about immigration policies and his interfaith marriage, how he deals with that, those kinds of things. And she rattled off like 5 or 6 questions in a row. And he said, okay, you asked me a lot. I'm going to do my best.
He said you asked me 9.
Yeah. You asked me a lot. I'm going to try to do my best to answer these as best as possible. And he began with like her last questions. And then, excuse the Sakiism, he circled back to the interfaith question. I've got about 2 minutes of this. We can dump out of it whenever you want, or we can play the whole thing. But here is what Vice President Vance had to tell this lady about his interfaith marriage. Clip 16.
You asked a personal question about our interfaith household. And yes, my wife did not grow up Christian. I think it's fair to say that she grew up in a Hindu family, but not a particularly religious family in either direction. In fact, when I met my wife, we were both, I would consider myself an agnostic or an atheist, and that's what I think she would have considered herself as well. You know, everybody has to come to their own arrangement here. The way that we've come to our arrangement is she's my best friend. We talk to each other about this stuff. So we decided to raise our kids Christian. Our 2 oldest kids who go to school, they go to a Christian school. Our 8-year-old did his first communion about a year ago. That's the way that we have come to our arrangement. But, thank you. My 8-year-old was also very proud of his first communion. Thank you, guys. I'll tell him that Old Miss wishes him the best. But I think everybody has to have this own conversation when you're in a marriage. I mean, it's true for friends of mine who are in Protestant and Catholic marriages, friends of mine who are in, atheist and Christian marriages. You just got to talk to the only advice I can give is you just got to talk to the person that God has put you with, and you've got to make those decisions as a family unit. For us, it works out. Now, most Sundays, Usha will come with me to church. As I've told her, and I've said publicly, and I'll say now in front of 10,000 of my closest friends, do I hope eventually that she is somehow moved by the same thing that I was moved in by church? Yeah, I honestly do wish that, because I believe in the Christian gospel, and I hope eventually my wife comes to see it the same way. But if she doesn't, then God says everybody has free will, and so that doesn't cause a problem for me. That's something you work out with your friends, with your family, with the person that you love. Again, one of the most important Christian principles is that you respect free will. Usha's closer to the priests who baptized me than maybe I am. They talk about this stuff. My attitude is you figure this stuff out as a family, and you trust in God to have a plan, and you try to follow it as best as you can. And that's what I try to do. Okay, the question that the lady asked him leading up to that answer right there, Ray, was basically, you're a Christian, your wife is a Hindu,
How do you make this work, basically? Have I got that fair?
Yes. Yeah.
And that was his answer to this. It sounded to me like, Ray, he came to know the Lord after he got married. That's what he was saying.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's sort of the implication.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, in the bigger perspective, Tim, that's the most I've ever listened to J.D. Vance. I've heard snippets here and there, but I watched the whole thing. I was unbelievably impressed by the way he handled that Q&A. And that woman, I mean, she had things to say about immigration that she handled. If you just watched how he comported himself, that's a master class in how to deal with difficult questions, because there was an edge to the way she framed her question.
It was accusatory.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
She was civil.
Right, she was.
Okay,
but there was an edge to it, right?
Yeah, because when he started answering the question, she almost immediately raised her hand like, "Hey, hold on just a minute. I don't agree with what your answer right there." But he handled it forthrightly and masterfully, and I thought he did a great. That was one of the when he said, "Come to the microphone if you have a disagreement with me." She was one of the ones who came up and asked him and. The crowd, 10,000 plus, the vast majority of them obviously would be a kindred spirit to the cause of Turning Point and J.D. Vance and everything like that. But nobody booed her. Mm-hmm. There was no ugliness to her. Hey, quit asking these kinds of questions, anything like that.
I tell you, if you were not a fan of J.D. Vance before last night, you had to appreciate his honesty and his frankness.
Yeah.
He did not shy away from that question.
No.
And keep in mind, his wife was sitting right there too.
Yeah.
So, and he said, I hope that she comes to faith in the Lord Jesus Christ.
Right.
I thought, that's amazing. That's the kind of discussion you usually have at the supper table around home.
Yeah. And he said one time he was an agnostic, he said.
Yeah.
Or an atheist, he said. He didn't know what he believed.
Yeah.
Exactly. To rehash, for those who don't know his background, he had a very hard childhood.
Yeah.
I don't think his dad was. I think I got this right. I've got his book on my desk. I haven't read it yet, but about his life, Hillbilly
Elegy.
Elegy. Yeah. Great book.
I haven't read it yet, but
Terrific.
he had. Am I right? He had a great. He had a.
He came up the hard way.
Yeah, yeah, and then his mom was an addict. Drug addict, I think, and his dad was not around. I mean, he was
every chance for his life to go bad.
Yeah,
and be wasted.
Yeah, and then he grew up. He went to I think he went to Ohio State University, graduated from there, and then was it Harvard?
I think so.
Harvard, graduated there. I mean, very intelligent guy, but very down to earth too.
Yeah.
All right, you're listening to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. We're talking about what the Turning Point USA event in Oxford, Mississippi last night on the campus of Ole Miss, where the Vice President of the United States spoke. By the way, guys, the Vice President's plane, Air Force Two, they call it Air Force Two, right?
Air Force Two.
Mm-hmm. Okay, it landed in our parking lot over here.
Pretty much. Yeah. Parked over there by the van.
Okay, the Tupelo Airport's just 5-minute drive from our studios here, and when jets come in, they're the only jets that can land in Oxford are like small jets, really like private jets. But so when, for example, when teams come here to play Ole Miss, they fly into Tupelo and bus over to Oxford. When Ole Miss sports teams leave, they leave out of here. So this is the airport. President Trump's Air Force
Air Force One's been here before.
He came here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, we had a bunch of rednecks watching that plane land last night and take
I guess
off.
I'm a redneck now.
Yeah, well, you are. Fred.
I saw it.
That's a term of endearment, my friend. You're an official redneck, Canadian American redneck.
Yeah. It was kind of interesting because as he approached the plane approached the runway for the first time, he did what's called a missed approach. He aborted the landing.
Did you see this?
I saw it. Yeah.
Okay.
He aborted the landing and went off back up into the clouds again. And it took about 10, 12 minutes or so for him to go around and make the second try, which obviously landed successfully.
Yeah, I'm standing in the rain yesterday, and Fred calls. We bit of an interesting situation here with the Air Force Two.
But it did land.
Yeah.
And then in advance of that, the motorcade came in, and they load a whole bunch of those black SUVs up on a cargo plane.
They do, yeah.
That's the motorcade I'm sure it's the same. It's the same way with the Beast, the one the president has, the automobile that he travels with. But anyway, then they took the motorcade went from Tupelo to Oxford, which is about an hour or 45 minutes to an hour, and just zoomed. It's just fun to watch if you get to see any of this. And when a president or a vice president comes to town.
Yeah.
The degree of security is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What goes on. Local police are very much involved.
Yeah.
They circle around the airport to make sure nobody goes in there while all of this is happening.
I think I'm on a first-name basis now with everybody in the Secret Service that was there, as well as the dog that sniffed my computer to make sure it wasn't suspicious.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
One other highlight from last night's speeches, specifically the Q&A section, was what I can only call the "Hey JD" guy. JD even came away with a new best friend after this segment here. Clip 17.
Hello, JD. How you doing today, man?
Good. How you doing?
In the wise words of Ricky Bobby, I don't know what to do with my hands.
Don't feel bad. Neither do I half the time, man.
Okay. First off, laugh it up. Okay, first off, I just want to say I am a huge supporter of the Trump administration. I was 3 months too late to vote for you guys, but if I could have, I would have. So I'm a huge supporter of you guys before I make my argument. But there is something you guys are doing that is kind of disturbing me a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. You guys have sent the military into Washington, D.C. and a few other cities that I can't think of off the top of my head, which, first off, they've had wonderful results. Like, no one can deny the results of that. It's wonderful. Some might even say the greatest. I'm a comedian.
I like this guy. Who is this guy?
Thank you, JD. I like you, too.
Thank you, JD.
He was great.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know. So he was saying he was too young to vote?
Yes.
Okay.
He had turned 18 after the election.
Yeah. Anyway.
He is a comedian.
He went on to say something about Ricky Bobby, didn't he?
I don't know what to do with my hands.
That's what he said.
Nights.
It's from the movie Talladega Nights. Okay. Oh, my goodness.
By the way,
Anyway.
J.D. Vance did go on to support the administration's policies of trying to curb crime, for those that didn't see the rest of it.
Oh, yeah.
But it was a lighthearted moment that everybody enjoyed.
Yeah. Anyway, he did an excellent, everybody here, he did an excellent job. And if I'm the Democrats, I don't know, I want to face this guy.
No.
Do you, Ray?
He is so quick on his feet.
Yeah.
He's winsome, he's personable,
Right.
he's young, and he is quick. Quick on his feet.
I think he's only 40.
He's 41.
41.
It is the first time in my lifetime somebody in office that high up has been younger than me.
Yeah, 41 years old. And so we will see what the future holds. But
Kamala Harris, J.D. Vance.
Well, yeah.
Think about it.
She wouldn't have answered that faith question. She would have said, that's a personal matter.
Yeah. Yeah, anyway, he will be the nominee for the Republicans, heir apparent, in the next. But that's 3 years out, right? In fact, that's what he said. Some people were chanting 48, 48, 48, meaning you'll be the next president. And he said, "Wait a minute, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves."
Yeah. Yes.
So, all right, we will take a short time out right here. Sandy Rios from the podcast Sandy Rios 24/7 will be on with us momentarily. When we get back from the break, she'll be on with us. And I'm not going to ask her what year she was born. I'm going to steer clear of that one.
Good decision.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Appreciate it. Don't ask women how old they are.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, don't ask them how much they weigh either.
Oh, no.
No, that's just like beyond the pale. Well, I don't know why you'd ever do that anyway.
No.
That's right.
No.
All right. We will be back in a minute. Stay with us.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildmon.
Once there was a king of a vast domain who was growing old. He decided that it was time to select an heir from among his 4 sons. So he called them in one at a time to discuss the inheritance of his kingdom. When the first son entered the chamber of the king and sat down, the king spoke to him. "My son, I'm very old and will not live much longer. I wish to entrust my kingdom to the son best suited to receive it. Tell me, if I leave my kingdom to you, what will you give the kingdom?" Now this son was very rich. So when asked the question, he replied, "I'm a man of vast wealth. If you leave me your kingdom, I will give it all my wealth, and it'll be the richest kingdom in all the world." "Thank you, son," said the king as he dismissed the son. When the second son entered, the king spoke to him. "My son, I'm very old and will not live much longer. I wish to entrust my kingdom to the son best suited to receive it. Tell me, if I leave my kingdom to you, what will you give to the kingdom?" Now the son was very intelligent. So when asked the question, he replied, "I'm a man of vast intelligence. If you leave me your kingdom, I will give it all of my intelligence, and it'll be the most intelligent kingdom in all the world." "Thank you, son," the king said as he dismissed the son. When the third son entered, the king spoke to him. "My son, I'm very old and will not live much longer. I wish to entrust my kingdom to the son best suited to receive it. Tell me, if I leave my kingdom to you, what will you give to the kingdom?" Now this son was very strong. So when asked the question, he replied, "I'm a man of vast strength. If you leave me your kingdom, I'll give it all of my strength, and it'll be the strongest kingdom in all the world." "Thank you, son," the king said as he dismissed the son. The fourth son entered and was greeted by the king in the same fashion as the other 3. "My son, I am very old and will not live much longer. I wish to entrust my kingdom to the son best suited to receive it. Tell me, if I leave my kingdom to you, what will you give to the kingdom?" Now this son wasn't especially rich or smart or strong, so he replied, "My father, you know that my brothers are much richer, smarter, and stronger than I. While they have spent years gaining these attributes, I have spent my time among the people in your kingdom. I have shared with them in their sickness and sorrow, and I have learned to love them. I'm afraid that the only thing I have to give to your kingdom is my love of the people. I know my brothers have more to offer than I do. Therefore, I will not be disappointed in not being named your heir. I will simply go on doing what I have always done." Well, when the king died, the people anxiously awaited the news as to their new ruler. And the greatest rejoicing the kingdom ever knew took place when the fourth son was named by the king as his successor. Wealth, intelligence, and strength are often noble virtues, but they are weak indeed when competing with love.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildmon, a production of the American Family Association.
Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting. Psalm 139, 23, and 24.
American Family Radio. This is today's issues. Email your comments to comments@afr.net. Past broadcasts of today's issues are available for listening and viewing in the archive at afr.net. Now, back to more of today's issues.
Hey, welcome back to Today's Issues on the American Family Radio Network. Today's Issues, the name of this program. Hey, we are now on the air in Des Moines. And we are on the air at 89.3 FM. We bought a station there, and it covers all of Des Moines, Iowa. As I said yesterday, there's no other Des Moines I'm aware of, so I don't think you even have to say Iowa, right?
That's right.
So if you have friends and family in the greater Des Moines area, we are on the air now, American Family Radio. And here's the place on the dial, 89.3. 89.3 is the frequency. Tim, Fred, Chris, and Ray, we are here today, and we thank you for listening. Joining us now is Sandy Rios from Sandy Rios 24/7 podcast, which you can find on our website, afr.net. And Sandy joined us from the Sunshine State. Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Tim. I'm supposed to say hi to you from Bill Johnson. I just did a podcast with him. So,
Bill? Michigan Bill?
Yes, of American Decency.
Yes,
So,
great guy.
yeah, he is a great
Been
guy.
a friend of our ministry for a long, long time. Lives in Fremont,
Yes, exactly. Fremont, Michigan.
which is the home of Gerber Food Company. Little known fact there. Did you know that?
No, I guess I didn't, or at least I've probably been told and forgotten.
Yeah,
But-
Gerber Foods, based out of Fremont. Sandy, you sent us I guess it was an X post, or what they call it. We used to call it tweet. Pardon me. Last night or yesterday, that was. Let me find it here. Okay, it was from a gentleman by the name of Sean Davis. Who is he exactly?
He's one of the main dudes at the Federalist.
Okay,
on legal issues.
Okay, he's very credible.
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
very. I everybody knew who he was this morning at our meeting, but I just can't. I just lose track of everybody out there sometimes.
It's impossible right now.
Yeah.
I think to keep it all straight.
Keep
I
it up,
really do.
but this gentleman Sean Davis has credibility, and so that's the reason I wanted to bring this up before I quote what he said and then get you to comment on it. He said, "New Arctic frost whistleblower documents show." What? By the way, Fred, what is New Arctic frost whistleblower?
New Arctic frost, basically, it is something that Chuck Grassley, the chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, this is the investigation into what the Democrats did to Donald Trump when they were in power.
Okay, so new Arctic frost whistleblower documents show that the corrupt Biden FBI subpoenaed the bank records, donor list, and emails of nearly every major conservative organization and leader in the country, including Donald Trump's campaign, the RNC, Conservative Partnership, and others, I guess. This was, anyway, Sandy, what about this?
Well, I think one thing I'd like to say to clarify, this is not just about Donald Trump. I mean, it was, of course, to destroy him, but it's about destroying other people too. It is absolutely incomprehensible what they've done, and what we know so far is that Jack Smith ordered this. He planned it, but he wasn't the guy. He was the special counsel. But this was, you know what, guys, I'm hearing myself in repeat. Adam, just telling you, every time I say something, I hear it again. So.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so I'm kind of getting, I'm listening to myself. It's confusing.
Well, let's reconnect. Just start over. Can you turn it off and then come back and turn it on?
Yeah, Adam could do that.
Okay, Adam's our producer. Sandy's just not making up a phantom person here.
And I think...
Tell us, do what now? Okay. So do we need to talk amongst ourselves? Okay. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead, Fred.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Senator Chuck Grassley, who's chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, had a news conference yesterday to announce this. Here's what's interesting, folks. On November 15th, 2022, Donald Trump announced he was going to run again in 24. 3 days later, the then Attorney General of the United States, Merrick Garland, announced that a special investigation. Jack Smith, the prosecutor, was going to investigate, they said, Donald Trump's alleged involvement in January 6th and Trump's supposed mishandling of government records and classified documents. 3 days after Trump says, I'm going to run again, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says, I think we're going to investigate you. And Sandy's coming back right now. And it wasn't just Donald Trump. They went after everybody associated with Donald Trump.
Sandy's did any better?
I think so. Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to just talk through it. Let's don't worry about it. They said they actually.
Would you rather do it by phone?
No, I'll just.
Okay,
this
go.
No. They issued about 500 subpoenas, and it was, well, not 500 subpoenas, but they went after 500 different entities. It was people like Peter Navarro, like Steve Bannon, like Charlie Kirk.
Yes.
I mean, the list is endless. And they also pulled in, surveilled about, I don't know the number offhand, but something like 12 senators. 12. I mean, and, I remember Scott Perry, who used to be the chairman of the Freedom Caucus. Scott used to be on my show a lot, and he's become a friend. I haven't spoken to him in a bit, but I'll never forget when the FBI, he was at dinner with his family on a vacation, and they came in and took his cell phone, not because he'd committed a crime, but because they wanted to take his information. And he didn't know what else to do. We had no idea what was happening. He gave them his phone, and he was the head of the Freedom Caucus, so they were able to find out who he was talking to and what all the strategy was. This is the kind of thing they were doing. And yes, they were trying to destroy Donald Trump, but they were destroying hundreds, really thousands, I would say, because we can include the J6ers in the process. And one thing that I want to make sure I say this, it was, of course, Joe Biden, but it was Chris Wray. We've got it in writing now. Chris Wray ordered some of this. A.G. Garland ordered him. A.G. Garland is the Attorney General at the FBI, is part of the Justice Department. And then Lisa Monaco was another name. It's just such it's Watergate times 5,000. It's much worse.
And Sandy, they found a judge who really likes the Democratic Party. U.S. District Chief Judge James Boasberg. You probably heard his name in the last year. This is the same Boasberg that had attempted to stop Donald Trump from deporting illegal aliens in the last few months.
What did he do now related to the story we're talking about?
Well, he was the one that the Justice Department went to get all these subpoenas.
Oh, I got you. Okay. Well, we dodged a bullet by the many people in the conservative movement. Maybe that's the wrong metaphor, given the fact that President Trump really did dodge a bullet. But in terms of had she won, that is Kamala Harris, the presidency, this would have gone full board. And again, I'm quoting from Sean Davis. He says that the Biden FBI subpoenaed the bank records, donor list. He says FBI. Would that be that's Christopher Wray,
That's
right?
Chris Wray.
Yes.
And emails of nearly every major conservative organization and leader in the country, including Donald Trump's campaign, the RNC, and Conservative Partnership. Well, amazing that. Go ahead, Sandy.
Well, there's more to say if you have time for me to say it.
That's why we had you on.
Well, one thing what's happened is a lot of these people have this is lawfare. They have been sued. John Eastman. I mean, we figured. I was talking with a group yesterday. We figured there's probably at least 2,000 people who've had their lives destroyed, who've had to take on some people. One guy I know, his name is Jake. Gosh, I just went blank. He's a senator in Arizona. I've known him for a long time before he ever ran. He is a great senator. He's a great guy. He's got 6 little children. 6.
A state senator.
Yes, a state senator. I'll think of his last name in a second. But Jake has $500,000 in legal fees because he was involved in trying to fight the corruption in the election in Arizona, which is a legion. Arizona is one of the worst states, if there is such a thing. And so this is one of the states that had other electors. Those people like up in Michigan who were the Trump electors, which is perfectly legal to do, to have a backup set of electors because there was a dispute about the election. Those people have been sued, Tim. They've been in court. They're just people like you and me.
Right.
And they have thousands of dollars in legal bills. This has been a destructive thing. Remember they arrested Peter Navarro at the airport,
Yeah.
put him in prison?
Yeah.
I mean, we could go on and on. And so now we know that there's a direct line to Chris Wray, a direct line to Attorney General Garland and Lisa Monaco. We have it in writing. That's what Senator Grassley has discovered. One other thing that I think is important to know, this is not the main thing, but it is important. AT&T was approached about getting Senator Cruz's phone and all his information. AT&T said, wait a second, we have to check with our legal department. This was all illegal. You can't do that. You can't do that without a subpoena.
Wow.
So AT&T then said, no, we're not going to do it. So guess who wrote a note about this, or note, I don't know what to call it. It's a binding thing. And it was Judge James Bozerg then, said back to AT&T, all right, but then because of blah, 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 and blah, 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 you can't tell Ted Cruz that we asked for this for a year. You can't tell him for a year. And it was totally bogus reasons. And
those things are extra constitutional, to say the least.
Absolutely.
I mean, good night. So I wasn't aware of that. I don't know how I missed that. So Senator Ted Cruz, his phone, which is an AT&T, he uses AT&T, and who wanted his phone?
This Jack Smith.
Jack Smith and the
he
investigation.
Wanted it without a subpoena?
Yeah, he went to Boasberg, and Boasberg told AT&T, "Don't you tell Ted Cruz that we've ordered this for a year."
Unbelievable.
We have some audio of Ted Cruz.
I say unbelievable. It's believable with this corrupt leftist, deep state. But good for AT&T that they at least said no.
They fought it.
Huh? They fought it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and Verizon, on the other hand, Verizon gave everything. So they didn't hold anything back. There was no subpoena. It's all illegal. And I heard someone say in a press conference yesterday, I think it was Lindsey Graham, because he's one of the senators that was targeted, that if this is true, he's going to sue them. He's going to sue them.
Verizon gave whose phone did they?
I don't know his for sure, and I don't know
Graham?
who the others.
Lindsey Graham.
Yes. Well, there's like 12 senators that Jack Smith got information from their phones.
Wow.
There's Ron Johnson was one of them.
Marsha
Blackburn. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that story now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was about a month ago, right, when that broke.
Yes.
Right.
And I want to tell you one other thing before, because I just think you should know as much as I know here. This is not in this story, and I can't. I'm sorry that I can't give you the context, except we know now that the Biden administration managed to get permission to go into the phones of 30 million Americans. It was all who they suspected were Trump supporters, MAGA people. 30 million phones they surveilled, or whatever they did with them. 30 million. Yeah. I'm sure we're on the list, Tim.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Sandy, this makes Watergate look like child's play. Somebody was saying that this morning. Watergate was just playing in the sandbox. This goes so far beyond Watergate.
Yeah. They also took advantage. I'm not saying that Joe Biden wasn't he had his own ethical problems, and had for decades with plagiarism and all kinds of things that he did. But I think too that some people in the Biden administration, took advantage too of Biden not knowing where he was or what was going on, because you know what I'm saying. I don't think that Joe Biden. What am I trying to say? I don't think they had to ask, for approval from Joe Biden himself to do what they did. That's what I'm saying here. But All right. Well, go ahead.
I have one other thing that's important.
You already said that 3 times. You're like a you're like a preacher. You're like a preacher.
And one more thing.
At 12
I have 4
o'clock.
points.
Okay. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Sorry.
That's why we had you on. We want you to tell us one other thing.
Well, here's what's happening as a result of this. I just yesterday found out I can talk about this. The Justice Department is convening a grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida. And we believe that the Justice Department is going to combine, it's like an army of people have blood, not literal blood, but yeah, maybe some literal, but an army of people have done these horrible things. And they're going to bring them to account. There's some talk of a special counsel. There's talk of that, but Pam Bondi's on this, and as I understand it, she's focused on this among all the other 500 things she's trying to do. But they're going to there's going to be accountability, and I was delighted to see Chris Wray's name. Actually, we know he's done some really bad things. Chris Wray is just slimy. And so I was delighted. Bruce and I both were delighted to finally see his name implicated in this with proof. So,
you know what? These people that are involved in this never, ever in their wildest imaginations thought that Donald Trump would be reelected president.
No.
Well, I didn't either. So I didn't either up until Kamala Harris was put forth as the nominee. I had serious doubts that President Trump could win a general election, but he did. And because of that, our country was saved from a lot worse things that even we're talking about here today. Yeah. And so James Comey is the one who you could say, well, he never thought, that he would be in court. He never thought Donald Trump would. Comment on James Comey. I know you have 1,000 times, but James Comey now, he's in front of a federal court.
Yeah, I haven't heard. Well, yes, he is. He's hired Pat Fitzgerald out of Chicago. We knew Pat Fitzgerald used to have a very high profile. He's the one that prosecuted Scooter Libby. You remember all of that? It's complicated. So, but they sent Scooter Libby to prison, and Scooter Libby didn't do anything. It's a long story, but so Pat Fitzgerald though had a lot of respect, and we knew him from Chicago, not well, but he was a prosecutor in Chicago. So he's hired Pat Fitzgerald, but Pat Fitzgerald is the person, according to the record, that James Comey gave his notes to give to the professor, to give to the New York Times. Right. So Patrick Fitzgerald, who's defending him, is part of the case. It's not you can't do that. He has a second attorney who's also implicated in the details. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that. He's crazy like a fox. Some people are speculating that he appointed these two in particular so they wouldn't turn state's evidence against him. So I don't know what's going to happen, but that's where we are.
You got one more thing?
Well, then,
what's coming up on the podcast this week? The rest of the
well, I talked to a gentleman out of Abu Dhabi who is the CEO of an energy company, and he is there negotiating with the Secretary of the Interior, whose name escaped, Doug Burgum. And they're negotiating with, I don't know who, but they're trying to, the Chinese are in everywhere, and they are trying to sabotage America's deals with some of these countries on energy and oil and all of that. So it's very complex, and I talked to him about that.
Okay.
And you know what? I can't remember what else.
That's all right. So go if you like Sandy want to find out what her podcast is about, then you
that was not.
I'm sorry,
nice.
that was unnecessary. But you just walk right into it.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So go to afr.net and click on podcast, and you'll see Sandy Rios 24/7, and you can listen to Sandy's twice a week release. Podcast.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, Gordon Chang on She's Demise and China's continued threat. That was the other one.
Okay.
Gordon Shang.
All right.
Okay.
So there.
I'll post it
So
on
there.
our
there.
Facebook.
That sounded like a little attitude behind that little statement there.
Sandy, you better hang up now because Tim is revealing the ages of women today.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I just said happy birthday to my wife. And here I am. Okay.
You might be tried at Fort Pierce, Florida.
I'm gonna find myself in the grips of the deep state here before long. All right. Thank you, Sandy. Take care.
You're welcome. Talk to you guys soon.
Take care.
That's
Bye.
Sandy Rios. Folks, Sandy Rios is our most popular podcast. She has in-depth interviews. If somebody called it basically a briefing of behind the scenes and what's happening and what's going on in our country. And so if you want to access that, Sandy doesn't have a radio show on our network any longer. She retired from that. And she said, because 10 years she was on the air with us in the morning, and she said, Tim, I just want to switch over to a podcast. And I said, well, fine, be that way. And so here we are with her podcast twice a week, and it's outstanding. And thousands and thousands of people listen to her every week on her AFR. Sandy Rios 24/7 podcast. So go to AFR.net, click on podcast, and sign up for Sandy's podcast releases, again, twice a week. You're listening to Today's Issues on American Family Radio. Tim, Fred, Chris, and Ray. Ray, anything? We haven't let you talk in a while.
I was thinking about that fella, the guy last night who said, JD.
Yes.
Hey, JD.
Chris can do it.
Hey, JD. Yeah, that was great. Ricky Bobby and all that. And he asked about what's going to happen if someday the Democrats get in power and they use the government against the American people. And JD's answer, I thought, was brilliant because it goes to what Sandy was just talking about. He said, JD Vance said, we don't have to imagine what might happen in the distant future. Look at what happened when Joe Biden was president, how he weaponized the government against its own people. And, this thing about that Sandy was talking about, they did it deliberately. They lied about it. They covered it up. And let's be honest, Tim, they're not apologetic. I'm talking about the left-wingers. They're not apologetic about what they did, going after conservative leaders. They're only sorry they got caught.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. And as again I said, had President Trump not won, then the political left in this country would have come after and tried all conservatives and Republicans, and they would have used every means possible to try to shut groups like ours down, for example.
I remember going all the way back to the Obama years. Lois Lerner, head of the IRS, went after conservative groups.
Right.
Trying to take away their tax-exempt status.
Right. So it's war.
Yep.
Out there. And all right, and that's what J.D. Vance was talking about too. We're just about out of time. Chris, you got any update on the monkeys in Mississippi story?
I don't. As far as I'm aware, at least one monkey is still on the loose. So good night, sleep tight, don't let the monkeys bite.
We got to name that monkey. We got to name him. George.
Ed already said curious.
Curious
George.
Yeah.
They're just he's out there. That monkey.
People are having fun with it on social media. I've seen people like Photoshop a monkey on their patio table as if their Ring camera spotted the loose monkey. Hey honey, somebody's at the back door. One of those things.
So, this is for those who don't know. There was a truck that overturned carrying some monkeys. I guess they were bound for
a lab.
Tulane University in New Orleans on the interstate in Mississippi, and the monkeys escaped.
3 are still on the loose, according to various news outlets.
But sadly, the others had to be put down, right?
At least 5, yeah.
They got shot by sheriff's deputies and such?
Yeah.
But how many are still on the loose?
3 rhesus monkeys from the New York Times. You can trust what they report.
George and 2 friends.
Yes.
Rhesus monkeys, like Reese's.
Reese's. Not Reese's, but Reese's.
Oh, I thought this was a new Halloween candy or something.
Yeah, they love peanut butter.
Reese's Monkeys. All right. Okay, thank you. And we like we like the fact that you're a Southerner who can do a good Southern accent.
I like you too.
We shall return momentarily with more of today's issues. Stay with us.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
Do you know the largest unpaid and untrained workforce in America? It's not in a factory or an office. It's the 65 million family caregivers. And if that is you, I understand the journey you're on.
Peter Rosenberger has been a caregiver for 4 decades. He's the host for Hope for the Caregiver, Saturday mornings at 7 Central on AFR.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
American Family News, I'm Rusty Pugh. The ongoing government shutdown continuing to impact airports around the country. Chanley Painter reporting from LaGuardia Airport in Queens, New York.
Air traffic controllers missing their first full paycheck this week, adding stress to an already very stressful job here at LaGuardia Airport included, and it's causing safety concerns and staffing shortages. In fact, so far today, there are 90 cancellations of flights in and out of the U.S. And as the week as a whole, since Sunday, almost 25,000 flights have been delayed. And here at LaGuardia in New York, where I am, air traffic controllers, they actually took to the terminals, handing out leaflets warning passengers of those safety concerns due to the government shutdown.
Turning Point USA members and supporters were out in full force at Ole Miss last night. More than 10,000 packed the arena at the University of Mississippi to hear Charlie Kirk's widow, Erica, and Vice President J.D. Vance.
Your generation is living at a crossroads, and you are living in one of the most defining moments in American history. And we are all witnessing in real time the battle that is raging for the soul of your generation. Again, your generation.
And so if you care about this country, as I know all of you do, don't just complain about social media. Get up and get involved in a campaign. If you want a better policy outcome, even from an administration that you voted for, then get out and get involved and making your voice heard. If you care about this country, love it enough to get involved in the process and how we govern it. That is the only way we are going to save the United States of America, and that is perhaps the greatest contribution that you can make to Charlie Kirk's legacy.
Ole Miss Philosophy Department Chair Stephen Schulte was at the event and says Charlie Kirk changed the way young people think.
I think students have a sense that the way things have been for the last few decades just covers up so much in terms of what people are really feeling and thinking. So I think there's a sense that people are walking around wanting to express their religiosity, but just haven't felt free to do so. And I think there's a sense now that it's okay to identify as a Christian. It's okay to celebrate your faith without worrying so much about what other people will think about you. But I think maybe the bigger thing is just a lot of the students I teach feel that a life without God is just lonely, meaningless, and not fulfilling.
A Christian family advocacy group in Texas says the Texas Supreme Court has issued a major victory for religious liberty in a same-sex marriage lawsuit. More from AFN's Bronson Woodruff.
A Texas judge named Diane Hensley came under fire herself in a legal challenge that Jonathan Covey of Texas Values says has ended positively.
The Texas Supreme Court just did a rule change with the Code of Judicial Ethics. So what we're talking about here is Canon 4 of the Texas Code of Judicial Conduct.
He explained a lot of people don't hear about the canons, but he explained they are the whole framework for everything for a judge. How judges are supposed to act, what qualifies as partiality and impartiality, and proper performance of their judicial duties.
Judge Hensley is an elected justice of the peace from McLennan County, and in 2019 she received a complaint about she was not performing same-sex wedding ceremonies.
Covey said the Judicial Conduct Commission actually reprimanded her, and then she filed a lawsuit against them.
Late in 2019, there was a lower court ruling that said she was barred from continuing her lawsuit because she had skipped the internal appeal process for the Judicial Conduct Commission.
So he said she went to the Texas Supreme Court on that question. He added the case was pretty well tied up in the courts for a while, but now
the Texas Supreme Court came out with a change that said that Canon 4 cannot be interpreted against a judge who decides not to perform same-sex wedding ceremonies because of sincerely held religious beliefs. And this is a welcome and a long overdue clarification from the Texas Supreme Court.
I'm Bronson Woodruff.
More news online at afn.net and download the AFN mobile app for your Apple or Android device. I'm Rusty Pugh.
If we lose this cultural war, we're going to have a hedonistic, humanistic society.
Discover the story of the culture warrior Don Wildmon and how he went head-to-head with Hollywood, Playboy, the homosexual agenda, and the Disney empire. The movement Don started paved the way for Christians to boldly stand for truth and righteousness in a hostile culture. Watch Culture Warrior today for free. Visit culturewarrior.movie.
Today's Issues continues on AFR with your host, Tim Wildmon, President of the American Family Association.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Today's Issues. That's the name of this show on the American Family Radio Network. I'm Tim Wildmon with Fred Jackson and Ray Pritchard, and now we're joined by Steve Paisley Jordahl. Good morning, Brother Steve.
Hey, everybody.
Can't hear you.
I'll yell. Hello,
Okay.
everybody.
Hello. So, you doing all right, Steve?
Yeah, I think I'm doing well.
Did you get that Paisley shirt from China?
I'd have to look.
I'm trying to segue.
I'd have to look. It's interesting. I talked every other week I have an interview with Todd Nettleton, who is the guy with Voice of the Martyrs. He's their media person, does their radio show, and we were talking about the International Day of Prayer for the Persecuted Churches coming up, and he had an idea for somebody if they want to pray. When you pull a shirt out of or some clothes out of your closet, look at where it was made. It might have been made in China, it might have been made in Vietnam, but wherever it was made, that's the country that you should pray for that day. I thought it was a great idea.
Yeah, if you can pronounce it.
God, you know the name of that country.
That's right.
I have looked at clothing items and going, I can't even pronounce this place.
Exactly.
But anyway, yeah, that's a good idea. All right, Steve, what's your first story?
Well, our president is coming back, if he's not already back, from an extended trip abroad where he visited Japan, and he met with Prime Minister Xi of China. And
in Japan?
No, the meeting was in, where was it, Fred?
South Korea.
That's right, in the town in South Korea.
So the president did not go to Beijing?
He did not go to Beijing. Okay. Beijing came to the president.
But he did announce, President Trump did announce he is going to go to China in the spring.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been some significant developments between our two countries. So he announced two things yesterday. One was a trade deal with China in which we are going to be sending them soybeans and some other goods that have been that they're historically trade with us. He is going to reduce the tariffs that we're putting on China. In return, China is going to continue sending us the rare earth minerals that we depend on for technology, and they have agreed to intervene in the fentanyl trade. They are the main suppliers of the precursors for fentanyl. They don't send the made drugs, but they send everything you need to Central America.
Officially? Like government, or is this drug cartel stuff?
Well, China isn't hiding. I don't know that they hide the fact that they're sending these
for fentanyl.
For fentanyl,
okay.
the precursors for fentanyl.
All right.
And Beijing has said that it will crack down on what Reuters is calling the illicit fentanyl trade. And we're going to resume soybean purchases, keeping rare earth minerals.
So we sell or sell a lot of Soybeans to
a
China?
lot of soybeans to China. Yes. And so that's historically what we have been doing. So reading from Reuters, it was an amazing meeting, said Trump. He ranked it a 12 out of 10. He's never overstated anything before. That's pretty odd.
Yeah.
Trump said the tariffs on Chinese imports would be cut to 47% from 57% by halving to 10% the rate of tariffs relating to trade of fentanyl precursors. She will work very hard to stop the flow of fentanyl, a deadly synthetic opioid, and China agreed to pause export controls unveiled last month on rare earth minerals. That's the first announcement he made, and we can talk about that. But he also has said that he is going to resume nuclear. The United States will be resuming nuclear testing. Bombs. We're going to be testing bombs, which hasn't happened since 1992 in this country.
How are we going to do that? Do you know?
I don't know. Well, it'll most likely be underground testing. Nevada has been one of the sites of those for a while. I mean, before 92.
You surprised at that, Fred?
Well, President Trump, I think during this visit, there's some rattling about between, China, Russia, the United States. They have nuclear weapons. And I think what President Trump was signaling in his statement on this on Air Force One is that if China wants to talk in threatening terms about their weaponry, President Trump, he made a statement on Air Force One last night on its way back to the United States, and basically said, we have more, this is what he said, we have more nuclear weapons than anybody else. So if they want to go out there and puff their chest about having nuclear weapons, we'll show them. That's kind of where he was. Vladimir Putin responded to that. Okay, if you guys are going to do that, we're going to do that too.
Yeah.
We're kind of going back to the Cold War. And by the way, different than the Cold War, there are now 9 nuclear-capable countries in the world. Just 9, but they're a list of, they're not all the best. They're not sending their best. The U.S., Russia, China, France, the U.K., India, and Pakistan also are nuclear-capable, as well as Israel, although they've never officially admitted it, they are nuclear-capable, and North Korea is capable of nuclear has the nuclear bomb. Okay. So starting up a new Cold War is a risk. I'm going to be talking with Colonel Bob McGinnis, who we talk to a lot on military and national security issues about this. But
why couldn't you do that without announcing it?
Well, I think it's going to be hard to conduct a nuclear test without somebody knowing.
Well, that's probably true.
If it's being outed by, if we're doing it undercover and we're told about that, it's better to get out in front of it, I think.
Yeah, what do you think about that, Ray?
Well, it is an escalation of the tension, right? But there's already, it's not like President Trump has suddenly created this idea of saber rattling. He is just saying to the Chinese and to the Russians, if you guys are going to do this, we're going to resume testing. You got to be ready, right? You hope and pray you never have to use nuclear weapons, and perhaps, maybe Steve, we're back to mutually assured destruction. We're going to be ready. You're going to be ready. Let's pray nobody ever pushes that button.
Yeah, that's something we never really left, though. We've been under a moratorium that has been made credible by what's called the Stockpile Stewardship and Management Program, basically using advanced supercomputing methods to assure that what we have, even though it may be aging, is still, it'll go off if we need it to. It's still active. It's still
what kind of program you got here? What's it called?
It's called the Stockpile Stewardship and Management Program. And it is stockpile.
Yeah.
Stewardship and Management Program.
I don't know. This sounds funny to me. The word stewardship with nuclear holocaust.
Kind of does, huh? Well, although if if you want to have good stewardship of something, I think nuclear missiles would be up there at the top. I would think.
What does your daddy do? He works for the
stockpile
stewardship.
He works
company.
for the stockpile.
What does that mean? Means we're gonna blow the world
Sounds
up.
like something else.
I
I don't
know.
know.
So, all right. So anyway, go ahead. Next story. So we got a trade. But main thing is we got a trade agreement that President Trump wanted. That's the main thing. It seems to me.
Yes, and that part is probably going to be beneficial to all.
So
of us.
President Trump reduced the tariff from 57 to 47 on what? You know the answer to that?
Let me see.
Like on everything that comes in from China?
I think we had pretty much yes, with maybe some specific, I don't know, maybe auto parts or something like that. They might have had some stuff on a list that didn't qualify, but basically
57 to 47 just sounds a little odd. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He's the consummate deal maker, Tim.
Yeah.
You know, look, I'm going to. Like he's like the butcher, and he's selling you a cut of beef. Look, I'm going to take 10% off right now because you're good. I like you guys.
Right.
You know.
All right. Next story, Steve.
All right. So we're getting the first daylight pictures of what Jamaica looks like after Hurricane Melissa tore through that country. It was a Category 5 as it hit Jamaica. It didn't slow down a whole lot, and so they have at least 36 people, at least. As of now, at least 36 people have been confirmed dead. That is almost certain to go higher, much higher, because they're still digging through rubble. But entire towns kind of wiped off the face of the earth.
Have you seen the video footage of this?
I've seen some of it.
Unbelievable.
It is.
Catastrophic is not even a good word. It's catastrophic is less than the word that needs to be used. I don't know what that would be, but this hurricane hit Jamaica. You know, you think Ray and Fred and Steve, when you think Caribbean, you think that they're hurricane. They're used to this, right? Well, this was like the first major hurricane to hit in 25 years or something like that.
It's the strongest ever to hit Jamaica.
In Jamaica, yeah. And so, but I saw the video footage. So their buildings aren't up to quote code for hurricanes. It's like I've heard people who've traveled to Jamaica, and it's basically a very poor country, and then you got the resorts, right?
Yeah.
The world famous resorts that millions of people vacation to every year, or go on honeymoons to, or whatever the case. Montego Bay, for example, but that whole side of the country, if you were to divide it up into two, I don't know about Kingston. I looked at a live stream of Kingston this morning, and it looked pretty normal to me. But the other side of the island, where a lot of the resorts are, Montego Bay area, that was just wiped off the face of the earth.
Eastern Cuba, Haiti, at least 24 people killed in Haiti.
Yeah.
And now it's headed towards Bermuda.
I don't even know how you clean up all this stuff, Ray, because, I mean, you got to have heavy machinery and money and personnel. I know that the people themselves will do all that they can to physically pick up debris and so forth like that, but I'm talking about these structures, all these hundreds and hundreds of structures that were...
Yeah, and you think about Caribbean islands, and you think, well, it's all flat. They're not flat. No. It's hilly. It's mountainous.
Right.
So after an event like this, one part of the problem is, Tim, how do you get back, particularly the villages?
Right.
How do you get back to a village on a mountainside that basically has been washed away, and the road has been washed out?
Right, because they had 20-plus inches of rain.
Yeah. We're already hearing from Southern Baptist Disaster Relief. Samaritan's Purse are on their way. They have the capability of bringing some of that heavy equipment there. I've been to Jamaica. I was fortunate enough to visit there on a cruise that I was on years back. But it reminded me, it's the most visceral reminder I've ever had of where I grew up in Madagascar as being a third world country. The shanties that are up, they're just... You live in what you can, and they're poor, very poor people.
Yeah.
So they can't afford foundations, even much less, windproof stuff.
So is Melissa the hurricane we're talking about, which was a Category 5 when it hit Jamaica and then it hit Cuba and then hit Haiti, or Haiti and Cuba, whichever one hit first? Is it going out to sea now?
Well, it went through the Bahamas yesterday.
Okay.
And it's on its way to Bermuda now. They're bracing for this.
But it won't be as strong.
It's weakening as it goes north, and
because the water's cool.
It will not hit the United States.
Okay. You're listening to TI, Today's Issues. Next story.
Well, you will recall last weekend we had our No Kings protest. You recall that? Around the country, depending on who you ask, hundreds of thousands to millions of people were out protesting the fact that they think that Donald Trump is making himself a king. I want to throw congratulations out to South Korea. South Korea has honored our president with the Grand Order of the M-U-G-U-N-G-H-W-A.
Give me that. I'm good at this kind of stuff.
Right,
what is it now again?
M-U-G.
M-U-G, mug.
U-N-G.
Nuz.
H-W-A.
H-W-A. That'd be Mugna Zaha.
Okay.
It's also a dance.
Mugna Zaha. Fred used to do this in high school. It was like before the twist. Was
That's
the
right.
Mugna Zaha.
Mugna Zaha.
Yeah,
That's right.
Just love that.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's when people had 3 beers. They said, hey, give me another mug. So
So the reason I'm bringing this up is because you know what the award is, not what it stands for, but what they get if you get this award.
Wait, hold on, Ray. Do you know?
No.
This is a Korean.
Idea.
In Korea.
Right.
Korea. So the President of the United States gets this award in Korea, and you're about to tell us what this entails.
It's the replica of a royal crown from Silla Kingdom, which he dutifully put on.
And then thus fulfilling the prophecy of the No Kings protesters.
No Kings. And he was having a
And
little
you
bit of
know
fun
why?
with that.
And you know why he did it.
Yes, nobody's ever trolled better than Trump.
He had a good time in South Korea.
Yeah.
When he got off Air Force One, there was a band there. This is a South Korean band.
Oh, yeah.
You know what they played?
What they play?
YMCA.
Are you serious?
You have these soldiers with their musical instruments.
Were they doing the letters with their arms?
No, because they were playing their instruments.
But
that's good.
Trump was doing the dance. Oh, was he doing the dance?
We can watch that on YouTube.
You can.
What
see
do we
that.
type in? Korean
Korean
YMCA dance.
You probably get it.
Yeah.
Go to YouTube.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't believe it first. The reporter was talking about this, and then of course it got my attention, and I listened, and sure enough, they were playing YMCA.
Are you looking?
Korean. I'm gonna type in Korean YMCA dance and see what pops up here on Brave. Korean. All right. See if we got anything. No, I don't see what they were. Oh, here we go. Viral moment. South Korean band plays YMCA for Trump. You weren't lying, Steve.
I generally don't.
No. That's just hard to believe, but that's funny. Okay, so.
And did you see? Does it come with a video?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here we go. He's in. I'm watching. I'm sorry, folks. I'm watching this. Here this happened. When did this happen? Yeah, yesterday.
In the last couple of days.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, he's in South Korea. He's meeting the president of South Korea.
They got the red carpet out. They got the band on one side.
Trump's walking along the red carpet, and they start playing the YMCA song. Okay. Anyway, all right, that's pretty interesting. So they knew how to get to Trump's heart, right?
They do. They knew exactly how. They didn't have Lee Greenwood over there, which would have really done it. But
right. All right, go ahead.
All right. So we are looking at several elections. I know we've been talking a lot about the New York City mayoral election coming up, but there's also
who's running there, Steve? What's the name of the guy running for mayor there?
Well, Eric Mamdani.
Eric? He changed his name?
No, not Eric Mamdani. Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah.
We call him Eric. Zoran Mamdani, and he is running against the Curtis Sliwa, the Republican.
Don Jr., right?
And nope, Don is not there. Don.
I was going on Eric.
Eric, yes.
And I was just playing off that.
That's right.
Zoran Mamdani.
Right.
And running against One of the
former governor,
Cuomo brothers.
Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. Not Mario, but Andrew, because I made that mistake the other day, too.
Super
Mario. Cool.
Andrew. So who's going to win that one, Steve?
Well, as of right now, although the margin in the polls are closing, it still looks like Mamdani is going to be taking that, unless at the very last minute, and it better be soon so people know about it, Curtis Sliwa drops out. Then it becomes a very competitive race.
Some Republicans are actually hoping Mamdani wins.
Why would you do that?
You get what you paid for?
Because they figure his policies are so radical.
Right.
They're going to fail miserably.
Right.
You have some pretty high-profile Democrats who have endorsed him, think he's going to do wonderful things for New York.
Yeah.
And when it all falls apart, they can say, there you go, folks.
I got you.
That's what happens when you got radical socialists in charge.
There is also an election, though, going on in Virginia, a gubernatorial election, and right now the race is coming down between a Democrat named Abigail Spanberger and the current lieutenant governor, Winsome Earl Sears.
Yeah.
Now, Winsome Earl Sears is a conservative black woman.
She's a Marine vet, too.
Yes. Abigail Spanberger is as white as they come, and the NAACP has come up with
what? White as they come.
White. She's Caucasian.
Oh, white as they come.
Yes, I was not making.
Don't go there.
Well,
don't go there.
I wanted to help you out there, Steve, and you misspoke.
Don't go there.
Okay.
White.
Okay. She's Caucasian, but
you should have said Caucasian.
I should have. The reason I'm bringing this up, though, is that the NAACP has come out with their endorsement.
Who are they endorsing, Steve?
Well,
this is a national advancement.
The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People is endorsing the white lady.
Why would they do that? How does that advance colored people?
It doesn't. I don't know. It's kind of a curious thing, isn't it?
It's just politics. What gets me is, Ray, the people on the left.
Yeah.
Which they want to make an issue of race when it's a Democrat person of color versus a white Republican.
Right.
Then it's a matter of, well, you're not going to vote for the Democrat because you're a racist.
Right.
And you say to them, no, I'm not voting for a Democrat because I don't agree with their policies. It doesn't matter what color they are.
Right.
Well, look at Winsome Sears. She won a statewide race as a Republican, as a black woman. But when the shoe's on the other foot, here we have a black woman, and the NAACP is endorsing the white woman. Okay? So, listen, they're doing that because they agree with the white woman, who's the Democrat's policies.
Right.
Right? Which is what we say, our side says, when they accuse conservatives of being racist. So,
well, we can't win with them.
I know. Just
right.
remember that in the future when they say, because you have Obama, he's coming to, former President Obama's coming to endorse and speak on her behalf.
On Spanberger's behalf,
yeah.
And how close is the race right now?
You know, Ray, I did not look at the latest
5-6 points, I think.
It's fairly close.
The Democrat is ahead in most polls, but.
To succeed, whoever wins succeeds. Governor Youngkin.
Youngkin.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
They're term limited.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to end with this. Can I end with this? The Times of London is taking a look at this New York mayoral race, and they decided they wanted to get the opinion of Bill de Blasio, former mayor of New York City. So they called Bill de Blasio and wanted to know what he had to say. They were a little bit shocked that Bill de Blasio said that the Democrat nominee was making dangerously optimistic assumptions about how much money the new taxes would bring in. They immediately put this on the front page, and Bill de Blasio tweeted out, "Wait a minute, I never granted this interview. I didn't. It's not me. I didn't say that." So we went back and checked, and yes, they did interview Bill de Blasio, but they got a 59-year-old Long Island wine importer named Bill de Blasio.
No.
Yes, and they published a whole story based on their interview with him. Now, in his defense, he says, I am Bill de Blasio. I've never been not Bill de Blasio, and no one ever asked if I was the mayor or addressed me as Mr. Mayor. He thought they were doing a random sampling.
Who did the interview?
Oh, that's great.
The Times of London.
The Times of London.
They had to
Interviewed
retract
the
story.
wrong Bill de Blasio. Oh, man.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
My pleasure.
Yes. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Tim.
it. Thanks to Fred. What do you think about the show today, Fred?
I tell you that story, Journalism 101.
That's right.
You better know who you're talking to.
What you talking about, Willis? Adam Suddeth, our producer today, and Sandy Rios joined us, and Chris Woodward. I think that's everybody. All right, it's Thursday, meaning tomorrow is Trivia Friday, so if you want some education, you need to tune in to Learning University tomorrow at this time. See you then.